Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you guys are all having a great day. So in this video, we're going to talk about breath work and how you can have healthy blood pressure levels during your exercise and your workout. And it's super important that we understand this because, again, everything ties in. And what we always want to talk about is how does it work in alpha? We break everything down into movement, metabolism, mindset. Movement, metabolism, mindset. Movement, we break it down into breathwork and blood flow. Metabolism, we break it down into feed and fast. And then we have mindset, which we break it down into rise and rest rituals. What are you doing throughout your whole day? What are the thoughts you're having throughout the whole day? And based on those thoughts, what habits are you building? Etc., etc. But in this video, we're going to talk about breathwork specifically. We want to zoom in or double click into a movement, specifically breathwork. And it sort of ties into blood flow, right? Because we talk about blood pressure, blood flow would sort of tie in. So consider this video a culmination of both breathwork and blood flow so that you can understand how your breathing apparatus, how you're taking in oxygen actually translates over to your blood pressure, to your blood flow, pumping it all through your organs and your muscles and etc., etc. Right? So understanding that, always what we try to do is set the baseline understanding of everything and then we build on top of there. So let's talk about breathwork right now, right? Let's talk about what is breathwork, how do we think about it, and fundamentally what is breathing? Because most people are doing it, you're doing it right now without unconsciously thinking about it, right? You're unconsciously thinking about it and not even thinking, to be honest. You're just breathing and it's just happening automatically. But most of us are not, right? From the top of our lungs is where we're naturally breathing. It's called shallow breathing. Don't mind the wind. I don't know if it's catching up or picking it up, but it's pretty windy right now. So when we are breathing though, most of us, we inhale, goes down our trachea, goes down to our bronchial tubes, and eventually these massive two large lobes of lungs, right? And those lobes itself is broken into little sections and whatnot. But that's not the point of the story. The story is how do you actually make sense of it all? I'm anticipating you to be anywhere from like 11-year-old on up, right? So this is not going to be confusing to anyone. You can give it to your mom, you can give it to your dad, and it's just going to be more like, hey, go ahead and watch this video. This guy's going to tell you how to properly breathe. Hopefully it helps you, and you move on from there. So when we are breathing though, as I was saying, just go ahead and take a deep breath. Just take it. Show me how it's done. And I'm going to exaggerate it. So I'm going to go. I actually cracked a few bones. I mean, that's besides the story. So when we did that, what did we do actually? We were breathing from the top of our lungs and we never engaged our belly. We never engaged our diaphragm to the potential that it has. So what we want to do together is actually just do 5 deep belly breath, what I like to call diaphragmatic breathing. If you Google diaphragmatic breathing or diaphragm breathing, either or, you'll get it that there's this huge sheet of muscle. I'm gonna let the wind pass because it's pretty wild right now. So there's a huge muscle right now that's on your diaphragm area. And what happens is when you're taking a deep breath in, you're contracting that diaphragm all the way down. And then when you exhale, that lung collapses and your diaphragm relaxes and you're able to move forward, right? That's the beauty of all of this. You have to understand how this all works and how to make sense of it all, because if you don't make sense of it, then it's not going to really benefit you from the way you need it to do. So let's talk about that breath we just did. Now let's talk about exactly what we need to do to make it happen. So put your right hand on your heart, left hand on your belly, and we want to exaggerate or expand the belly, rise the chest, expand the belly, rise the chest. So I want to go in a side view just so that you get an idea of what I'm talking about. I know I'm wearing this jacket and I will see my belly sort of protrude, but just imagine, right? You become a pregnant woman, like something like very, very protruded. So take a deep breath in from the belly. So expand the belly, rise the chest. So expand the belly, rise the chest, and then you want to go ahead and let it go. Again, expand the belly, rise the chest, and then let it go. We want to do 5 of these. It's going to be important that we do it correctly, and so let's do it together. And after we do it, we'll come back and you'll see how you actually feel. I'm pretty sure you'll feel amazing because, I mean, you'll see me. You'll see me. I have a great time doing this. So in 3, 2, 1. 1. 2. 3. 3, 4, last one. 5. It really changes up. There's a fire truck. And there's a helicopter. A lot going on right now. This is gonna be one for the books. And then there's miscellaneous people that are gonna walk behind me. So as long as you guys are cool with that, we're good, right? Okay. So I don't know about you, but you saw how my voice deepened, how relaxed I was, because I engaged the lungs. The lungs is what gives us life. Without breathing 3 to 5 minutes, we're gone. We need the oxygen. Think about it when you're underwater and you're not able to breathe, what happens, right? Think about when you're in space, if you don't have oxygen, what happens? You die. Like you can live without food for 3 weeks, my guy, right? 3 weeks is a long time. You can live without food, but without oxygen, you cannot live for more than 3 to 5 minutes, depending on, what your capacity is and whatnot. I could probably go for 5 minutes because I've tested it for 3. I was good. I never tested for 5, but I'm okay with that because it's important that I breathe properly. And so now understanding how you are breathing, think about all the downstream effects that will occur for you to breathe properly. One, when you do breathe properly, you're gonna allow oxygen to travel, and now this is gonna tie into your blood flow. So let's actually talk about that physiology a little bit because it's gonna tie into blood flow right now. So when we took in that breath, it goes down our trachea, as I said, it goes down to your bronchial tree, and then eventually into your lung. So that tree behind me, there's a reason why I'm actually at the park and not at the gym. My intention initially was to be at the gym to record these videos, but it doesn't really make sense to be in the gym when we're talking about breathing. There's just too much going on in the gym. But when you're in nature, you get to see what nature is providing us. Every one of these trees, guess what? Is taking in our carbon dioxide and then going ahead and giving oxygen in return. And we take that oxygen and then we go ahead and leverage it. And then when we exhale, we're releasing carbon dioxide. So technically right now I'm playing a non-zero sum game with this tree that's right next to me. The tree is giving me a ton of oxygen. In turn, I'm giving it carbon dioxide. Granted very minuscule amounts of carbon dioxide, but all good, because what's going to happen is that over time, this just to iterate the fact that we need nature. We 100% need nature. You should come to nature. Even though it's super windy and chilly here, I'm very happy with the fact that it is, because it's pushing all the air, all the stale air that would be in some places, and it's now being refiltered out by the trees, by the humans, by the animals, whatever's around you, right? So once you take in that deep breath, it goes into your trachea and then into your lungs, right? So once it gets to your lungs, there's this big ball of sac called the alveoli. The alveoli, essentially what it does is, think of it like a big balloon. Like a balloon, it puts in all the oxygen, and then eventually when you exhale, it pushes all that oxygen into your bloodstream, and then you're able to use that oxygen in your blood to do whatever activity you need to do, right? So now this ties into blood flow. I'm going to talk more about this in blood flow series, but to tie it in for this video, we want to talk about more about once we do get that oxygen inside of our blood, how does it actually go where it needs to go, right? So there's actually a certain percentages where oxygen prioritizes. Your brain is one of them, your kidneys are another one, of course your heart, of course your lungs. Those vital functions that your body has to do, oxygen goes there, but your brain is taking 20% of it. Your muscles are also taking as well. But in the context of movement for our video, blood flow is really to get blood flow to your muscles, blood flow to your brain. So when you're taking this profound breath over and over, you're training your body to not only take 30% or so of oxygen, because again, the top, upper, shallow breathing, but we want to maybe take 80 to 90% of oxygen from our body, right? From our lungs into our body. And what that happens is you allow your body to get hyperoxygenated to a point where it starts stimulating other areas of your body that you normally would not get stimulated. That's pretty profound. That's pretty profound that you can, just by breathing, have a complete impact on your overall sense of well-being. Whether you're sad or happy or mad, whatever emotion you're experiencing, your breath can dictate how you feel. So think about it from this perspective, and I'm going to bring back memories for you. Think about a stressful time. Think of a time when you're anxious. What's happening to your breath, right? I'm pretty sure that you are breathing pretty rapidly, like because you're anxious, you're nervous, something's happening with you that's not in a normal state of being, right? Normal breath is anywhere between 10 to 14 breaths per minute. But when you are in a stressful state, or maybe if you're even playing sports, that's also stress. Stress is two-sided. It's both positive and negative. You determine what type of stress you want to have, but most of the time, most people, when they experience stress, is in a negative format. And so when you take in the extra oxygen, you're allowing your blood to get saturated with all this amazing substances that you can use for your benefit. And then now when you're exercising, whether you're doing progressive overload or you're on a treadmill, you're getting that oxygen that you need so you can actually go ahead and stay longer. Your endurance gets longer. And also at the same time, when you're done, your recovery is faster. So think of it's a double whammy. I mean, there's multiple modalities of what happens, but the real key here is that your endurance gets prolonged. You feel better. You can do more activities. You generate more ATP, and you're able to go ahead and do what you have to do. On the flip side, what happens is when you actually do the breathing, you're lowering your blood pressure. Your blood pressure is essentially how much blood is gushing through. So the more contracted that blood vessel is, remember blood vessels are also muscles, even though they're not the same type of skeletal muscle or skeletal muscle as most people call it in your muscles. But you know, your heart has cardiac muscle, your blood system also has something called smooth muscle, the same muscle that you have for your guts and everything. So it contracts and it relaxes. When it contracts, that's where you get high blood pressure. When people say I have high blood pressure, the fundamental act at the end of it is that you have really squeezed blood vessels. So how do you go ahead and get that? Sometimes you have too much salt or sodium, or too much solutes that are inside your blood that causes your blood pressure to contract or just increase the blood pressure. But when you are doing the breathing, when you are leveraging your diaphragm, you're expanding your lungs, you're also slowing down your cardiac rate, your cardiac rate, and now you'll feel more mellow. I mean, I just want you to think back to when we actually did that breathing. How did I feel? Right, I felt more mellow, my voice was more mellow, everything about me was more mellow. Is because when you take in breath, you really allow your body to get to its internal state of well-being. I really hope I got that across, because words are words until it becomes activated within you. And in this situation, we really tied in breathwork. How do you breathe with your blood flow, your blood pressure? How do they interact with each other? The key things here is you use breathwork as a tool to help you lower your blood pressure, or you can also help you increase your blood pressure, because if you're trying to work at the gym, you need more oxygen. You want to and go from there, right? So that's the beauty of all of it. With that being said, guys, if you found any value in this video, I highly recommend you like the video, letting me know you like it. This gives me positive feedback that I'm doing well, you're appreciating it, you're able to go ahead and provide it to other individuals as well. At the same time, if you dislike the video, definitely dislike the video, letting me know why you disliked in the comments below. And of course, the big thing that I love is you giving me a subscription or subscribe, right? I love my subscribers because they fundamentally let me know, like, hey, what I'm doing is on the right track. You find value in it, and I can keep going, making sure that you get value, I get value, we all get value from it, because we're building a community here of alphas. And if you want to be part of it, be my guest, right? We're all here together. With that being said, guys, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.